let's go ahead and string. And you know what, for demonstration purposes, I'm going to use the black today so that you can really see it on the camera. So let's go ahead and get started stringing our bracelet. Okay guys, so grab your Stretch Magic and here's what we're going to do. Grab it any way you can. I kind of try to put it right here in my thumb. And what we're going to do is we're going to go around, let me just unwind that. We're going to go around once, twice, and a half. Okay, let me do that again. So we grab it wherever we can. And we're gonna go around 2.5 times. 1, 2.5. Okay, and we'll just grab it, keep a grab of it there, and go ahead and cut it with your scissors or your flush cutters, whatever you've got is fine. Okay, and we'll throw that to the side. And now we have cut it, and you see how nice and long it is. We're working with a nice long piece. And as I continue through the steps, I'm gonna explain why. So the very next step is we need to pre-stretch our Stretch Magic. This is a very, very important step. Do not skip this step. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna grab one end and we're gonna gently pull and go down the full length that we've cut. And don't tug it. You don't want to tug it to the point that you're breaking it, but you do want to give it a gentle little stretch. And this is called pre-stretching. Now I'm going to go along the opposite way along the whole length that we cut, and I'm going to explain why we're going to pre-stretch. Let me put that down for 1 second, and let me grab these two and put them on so I can demonstrate. Okay. So why are we pre-stretching our Stretch Magic? Do you ever notice when you see some stretch bracelets that maybe somebody's had for, you know, a year or whatever? Basically, if you do not pre-stretch, what will happen is in between the beads, you will see poked out the wire. It's just like this, right? But that's how it is without tugging on it. And you're going to see sections of wire peeking through your beads. That's poorly crafted, is what we call that, right? We don't want that. And that is exactly what happens when you do not pre-stretch your Stretch Magic. So you don't pre-stretch. What's going to happen either right out of the gate, as soon as you put them on, or very shortly after. What's going to happen is you're going to be able to see the Stretch Magic between the beads, and it looks icky. It doesn't look right. We want them to look nice and professional. So that's why we pre-stretch. So don't skip that step, guys. So this is step 2, pre-stretching. You got to do it. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take and we are going to put the two ends together, okay? Just like this. Okay, now we have the two tails. This is where we're gonna grab our bead stopper, paper clip, binder clip, chip clip, whatever you've got. And we're gonna go ahead and just click it on there and see how it's got the teeth, and it'll just grab it. And that's gonna stop our beads from falling off as we string them. Now, here's another really quick tip if you don't have any clips in your house, guys. You can also tie a knot. Just tie a regular, good old-fashioned knot right here as close to the end as you can. And that's it. You're good, and it'll stop your beads. And I'll remind myself to explain that at the end if you don't have a bead stopper. Okay? And so now you see what we've done. We've doubled it. And we've doubled it, so we're giving it a nice durability to it. Now let's go ahead and thread our needle. So we're going to grab the other end, we'll put it together, pinch it, and just push it through the top of our threading needle. Now, I hope you can see that. Let me get it up close. We're going to pull it through, you know, 1.5 inches or 2, just a little bit, like about that much, and then push it to the end of your needle. And what happens is the needle grabs it, grabs the Stretch Magic, and it holds it in place, see? It holds it in place, it's not going anywhere. And that's gonna allow us to go ahead and feed our beads and come right through. It's gonna hold our Stretch Magic in place, and we're solid as a rock. So I'll pick them up as you go. So let's go ahead, and I'm going to start out by picking up my bead, and then I'm just literally going to start feeding them on my needle and stringing them. And you're going to see how fast this is going to go. It's super fast. In fact, as I said earlier, you could make a stretch bracelet in 10 minutes or less, literally. So I'm just going to continue. I started with those 6mm pretty turquoise rondelles, and I'm just stringing. And as I'm stringing, as I'm stringing them on my needle or feeding them on my needle, I'm pulling them down my string, and they're just popping down, as you can see there. Like that, we're done. So, next step is we are going to just lay it down if you're adding a charm. Let's go ahead and add our charm. Now, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the charm right kind of smack in the middle. I've got 3, 4, 5, 6, I've got 6 pearls, so I'm going to put it right in the middle of that. So in order to do that, that's where we grab our pliers, and we need to get a jump ring. I'm going to grab a silver, since I put those 2 little silver daisy spacers there. And we just hold our jump ring with our bent nose pliers. We grab our flat nose or chain nose if you've got, that works too. And we're just going to simply grab the other side, open. Then we're going to feed our little charm on our jump ring. Super easy, just like that. Okay. And then I'm going to decide where I'm going to put it. I'm just going to slide my beads over. And then I'm going to pick it up, feed it on there, and then close my jump ring. Now, very important, guys, when you're closing your jump ring, make sure to close it tight and perfect. Because we're using 0.5mm stretch magic, and that's very thin, even though we doubled it. These are very easy to fall off, these charms on the jump rings, if you don't secure them. So you really want to make sure there's no gaps, and look at how perfect that is. Perfect. So that it doesn't fall off. Okay? And so look, there's our charm. Okay, so now what we're going to do, the next step is we're going to remove our needle. So let's remove our needle by just pulling it off. Now, we're going to grab the top, just like this. Put your 2 fingers, any 2 that you're comfortable working with, and put them in there, okay? And you're going to hold it. Now let's grab our other side. And we need to hold our tail. And then we need to remove our bead stopper and keep a hold to your tail. Now, and that step right there, if you tied a knot, then just simply cut your knot and then pick it up. So now we're holding our tail. Now what you can do is, you can see we've got a lot of play, so I can pull my beads down so I've got a little room to work with. What we're going to do is, you're going to take those 2 tails and you're going to separate them just like this while you're holding them. And now you're going to take this side from the top, just like I'm showing you, and you're going to put it through just one of the tails, just like that. Let it drop, grab the other tail, and now you're going to hold both of your tails, just like that. Super simple. Now, go ahead and grab your beads, and you're going to start tugging on your tail until your beads are together, just like that. Now, you don't want to pull it super, super tight, but you want to pull it snug to where there's no wire showing, or excuse me, stretch magic showing through, but you want movement in your beads, right? You want your beads to be able to move. So you're just going to pull it nice and snug, not super tight. Now let's go ahead and tie. Now what we're going to do to tie is, we're basically going to do a triple knot, and we're going to tie a knot 5 times. So 5 times, that's the rule, my rule. A lot of us do that, but my rule is tying 5 knots because that keeps it nice and secure. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take and tie a knot on the top, okay? And then hold that other side just like that, and then grab the other tail and you're gonna put it forward, through to the back, and then pull it out. And then I'm gonna stop and show you, and this is what you have. You see that? You have like a triple knot. And that's what you want, a triple knot. And then we're gonna go ahead and pull. And go ahead and pull it snug, but don't put force into it. And now we're gonna, our second knot, we're gonna go on the bottom. So you grab your bracelet, you're simply gonna make a knot, push one tail over and under the other, grab the other tail with the other hand, pull it to the other side, and pull. And there we go. Now we're gonna go back to the top and do the same thing. We'll do a triple knot. So we did like that. Then we're gonna take this top, push it through, like that. Now we have a triple knot, and we're gonna go ahead and pull. Now go to the bottom, make one more knot. Same way, grab tail, each tail on either side, and pull. And now our final knot. So we did one on the right, we're gonna hold that. Now we're gonna take the other tail, we're gonna push it up and over through the center, pull it over here, and then we have, again, I'm gonna show you before I finish it, that's what you should have. You have a triple knot there, triple knot. And now we pull, and we pull it nice and secure, and we're done. And don't worry about the bulk of that knot, you guys. There's, you're not gonna see it. It's gonna disappear in your beads. So don't worry about the fact you've got this huge bulky knot. And again, I'm not even worried about the black color of my stretch magic because you really can't see it. It's kind of disappeared, as you can see, that you really can't see it. So I don't care about that either. So now let's finish. So now go ahead and grab your bracelet like this, pull a little bit, the top, pull it a little, and then grab your scissors or your flush cutters, and then we're gonna go to where our knot is and then come up about 1/8 or 1/4 of an inch, guys. You do not, let me get really close in there. So there's my knot. I don't wanna get too close, okay? It'll unravel my knot. So I find it, and then I come up a smidge, about like that, about 1/8 or 1/4 of an inch, and I'm gonna cut, and that's that. And then you can even go ahead and intentionally pull it through, and it'll disappear in your beads. That knot will disappear in your beads. Okay, there we go. And so that's what we have. Let's see what we did. And we have perfect. I like the way it hangs on my wrist. And we made that 7.5 inch. And then there's our little charm. And that's what we did.